To get started looking at margins and borders, I've made a few adjustments to our styles to simplify the styles and the page. Let's take a look at the page as it stands right now. As you can see, I've turned all of the text color back to black and removed the line spacing, the leading that was crowding up the list of books. Otherwise, it's pretty much the way we left it. Our whole page tag affects the body. Let's come in here and make a couple more adjustments. We've set the font size to 18 and the color to black. Let's change the margin so that we have a margin for the top of 20 pixels, which will push the top down just a little bit. And then let's set a margin on the left to auto, which allows the browser to determine the margin on the left, and we'll do the same thing on the margin on the right. Let's also set the width of the body to 750 pixels and put a border around it of 3 pixels. We'll make that a solid border and we'll set its color. Let's take a look at the impact of those changes by bringing back Opera and updating. And you can see that it has put a black border around the entire page. It has put a little bit of a margin at the top. It has automatically managed to equate the margins on the left and the right given the size of our page. And that makes for a tighter look for the page entirely. Let's add a shadow effect to the border. The first two values, 0, 0, indicate that the shadow won't be offset to the left or right or to the top or bottom. The 5 pixel value is the spread value. This pushes the shadow out 5 pixels around all 4 edges. And the RGBA sets the color, but also sets the opacity to 3/4. Let's look at the effect by bringing up Opera. You can see the shadow effect is subtle, but makes the page stand out. Let's do a little work with our heading. We scroll up and find the H1, which already has its font family, color, and size set. We can center it with the text align, and let's add some padding. Save that, and bring back the browser. Watch that H1 heading as we update. And you can see we've given it a little bit of room around the background, as well as centering it. We can adjust the spacing between the H1 and the line that follows by changing the margin. Remember that the margin is listed in left, top, right, bottom. And while negative values make no sense for text size or even for padding, in margins they can be used to tighten up the box model. Let's bring up Opera and refresh, and you can see we've been able to tighten up the header. We'll talk a good bit more about using margins and padding when we talk about float and creating floating boxes in our web page.